What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler. Today we are going to be talking crankbaits. Specifically, deeper diving crankbaits. It's summertime. The fish are getting down there a little deeper. Not everybody wants to drag a jig or swim a jig. Crankbaits are Crankbaits are a great way to catch some big fish this time of year, okay? You live in California, you're around Berryessa or Clear Lake, crankbaits tend to shine, okay? We're gonna go over a few crankbaits here today, some of my favorites. Some aren't quite as popular as others maybe, but there's a reason behind them and I'm gonna explain it to you, all right? So let's get into it. First, I was just researching some of these to give you guys prices, weights, all that kind of stuff. Come to find out, 2 of the 4 that I picked aren't even available anymore. Now, one of them you can get on eBay. The other one I think was replaced by another, and we'll start with that one because it's kind of interesting. Back in the day, before the river to sea tactical crank, there was the Goon. This is the Goon. Okay, might look pretty similar. It's not the same to the tactical crank, but it looks like they replaced. Jesus, what is my problem with talking today? It looked like they replaced the Goon with a tactical crank. Okay, 15 to 17 foot diver. It was called the Goon 68F, and I really like these for banging rocks in shallower water. Like I used to just, same way the tactical guys say to fish it, burn it, but I was fishing these in less than 10 foot of water and rock, okay? The fish reacted to these so violently, I literally caught a 6-pounder one day that had sucked the crankbait in, went out its gill plate, and hooked it in the body. So the line came through his mouth, out the gill, and the crankbait was hooked back there in his body. Never seen that before. Have you? I'm sure someone has, right? I couldn't be the first one or the only one. So I know it's happened. The fish was fine. Cut the line to get it off. Just made more sense that way. Anyway, I really like the Goon for banging on the rocks in shallower water, okay? It came through it really good. These were only like $7. The tacticals are 15 to 17 bucks. So this was a great one. And another one along that same depth line, a little bit deeper, that I was sad to see was no longer available other than eBay and some other places, was the Jackal Muscle Deep. This is a Muscle Deep 15 plus. And my research said it ran 15 to 18 foot. Now, Jackal had some really, really good colors. You see this one here. And I've got a bunch in my box in the boat. This is just one I pulled out of the box I had in the garage of my spares. The only downside to the Muscle Deeps was tuning them. They're very sensitive to tuning to get them to run straight. So it's running left, you want to bend the eyelet a little bit to the right, and runs right, you want to bend a little bit to the left. Very, very sensitive crankbait. But man, when they ran right, these things got chowed. Now, I didn't bang these into the rocks like I did the Goon because quite honestly, the Goon came in a good assortment of colors and these were way cheaper than this, okay? There's the Goon, Muscle Deep, pretty similar. All right, moving on and getting a little deeper. Now, this is a Struke King 6XD. Okay, and I'm going to give you some colors that I'd recommend because you don't need to buy. There's so many colors it can be really, really confusing. This is a decent one if you want something somewhat subtle. Chili Craw, which is a Craw type pattern, similar to this, not exact. And then the other one I really like is Powder Blue Back Chartruese, okay? Similar to this, but has Chartruese on the sides. Now, The 6XD compared to the 8 and 10XD, it's just easier to reel. This is a 1 ounce bait, 18 to 20 foot. It's very popular because KVD won a whole lot of money on this bait. It's much easier to throw than some of the other ones. Again, good sound. They make them silent, and they also make a 1 knock. Get these down, and anytime you're throwing any of these crankbaits, you want to be bumping stuff, okay? Don't misconstrue what I said about banging the shallow rocks. It's just fishing these deep divers in shallow water. It really beats the bill up, and you're going to go through some crankbaits and hooks for that matter. Always make sure your hooks are sharp, okay? These are stock hooks. They've got a little, they're still sharp. I'd replace them. This actually looks like it hasn't been thrown because it's not marked up. I've got so many dang crankbaits, it's ridiculous, honestly. You do want to be banging off a rock. Get it down there as quick as possible. Long cast. So what do you want to throw these on? Let's get into that really quick, okay? Brand of your choice. I'm going to throw the Irod crank launcher. Something 7, 6 to 8 foot. Okay, something that's gonna handle up to say 1 1/4 ounce, 1.5 ounces, preferably for these. The Goon and the Muscle Deep, they're not as heavy. The 6XD is says 1 ounce. I could check it, but yeah, let's just do it. Just for the sake of testing it, let's just throw it on the scale real quick and see. 0.9, so it's just under 1 ounce. And just for reference, we'll test the Muscle Deep. 0.8. So they're pretty darn similar. Now, the final one I'm going to share with you, and this one's badass, all right? It costs a little more too, and that is the Megabass Deep Six. Now, one, it's got a different sound, okay? Two, notice how narrow the bill is compared to the others, okay? This bait dives very well. It weighs, says 7/8, it is 7/8. So pretty much this and the 6XD are the same. Jesus criminy. And you don't have to throw super light line to get these down there. This one, I know you don't. 16-pound test, you can get it down there. I find you can throw light line to get it down a little deeper. You can kneel down to get down deeper. Stick your rod tip in the water. I don't generally like to fish that way. It's a lot of work. And as I get older, it just gets to be a bit much. As far as line, what am I using? I'm a sniper guy, okay? Sunline Sniper, fluorocarbon. Typically on my crankbaits, I'm gonna throw 14, 16-pound tests. Sniper's generally a little thinner than a lot of other major brands. Coffee. So that's my recommendation. Fish the brand you like. I'm not trying to sell you nothing here. The Goon is a sleeper, okay? Not a lot of people are throwing a deep diving crankbait. And this isn't overly big, but it gets down there quick. It's got a real violent action, especially when you're just speed cranking it across those rocks and it is banging. You'd be surprised how they hit it. All right, one last one, because these are some of my favorites, folks. And the 6 Sense crankbaits, I mean, look at this. Take it out of the package for you. Look at the finish on these things. This one's called Shad Candy. This is a 300 DD crush. Okay, you see the bill, very similar to that of the Struke King. Let's put her on the scale real quick just to see, but I'm guessing it's going to be, well, it says 1 ounce. It says 14 to 19 foot. It is dead on 1 ounce. Okay. I love the 6 cents, and here's the thing. That was $7.99. Look at the paint. $7.99. You look at some of these others. These are all, this is going to be in the same price range for the Struke King, I think, if not more. Everything's going up now. So the fact that I got these 6 cents crankbaits for $6.99 or $7.99, and I bought them at the 25% off sale at Copper State when they had the July 4th sale. So check it out, folks. Cranking can be a lot of fun. You get on a good crankbait, and I mean, you will just destroy them. We've all watched it happen on TV and tournaments. It's real. It's sometimes you got to graph, you got to find the stuff. But look, a lot of times it's rock piles or shelves that drop off, and crank the top of those shelves as it comes off the end. A lot of times they grab it then. But get out there, give cranking a try. If you don't have a big cranking rod, an 8 foot, 7.6, a 7.6, and this isn't ideal, but a 7.6 parabolic flipping stick will work. Okay, if you're willing to go buy one, check out the Irod Genesis 3 Crank Launcher Junior. Okay, it's right in the realm of this, and it'll handle bigger as well. It's up to a 1 1/4 ounce. You can also use it for your trash fish, your mag drafts, which means you're loaded. What are they? Dangerous swim baits now. They just had a bunch of new stuff come out. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I have 7 foot, 5 power cranking rods that I can throw these onto. You can too. If you have a chatterbait rod, you can throw these on a chatterbait rod. It's not necessarily ideal, but so you don't have to go buy the rod if you don't have it. Give it a try, folks. It will work, and you may find out you really like it, and you really get into it. You'll be one of those guys that has 5, 6 of them loaded up on the front of the boat and goes out there and just wants to crank them up. Now's a great time, folks. Get out there and crank. It's summer. They're down there waiting for that crankbait to come by. You only need a couple colors, right? Right now, look, Craw. I love Craw. Probably more in fall. They eat these now. My experience is that I get fewer bites on the Craws this time of year. Most of the bites come on shad patterns. However, when I do get bit on the Craw this time of year, they're generally substantially bigger than the other fish in the school. All right? See you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Have a good day.